Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Christopher. I thought I'd take a few minutes to show you guys another cool thing about the Fender Champion 100 amp and how well it takes pedals. So as you can see here, I've got a few pedals. I'm also taking the time to show you some cool pedals that I got. So just to tell you what I have, I bought an on-stage tuner. This thing cost me like 16 bucks and it rules. Nice bright tuning, right? Goes right to E, A, whatever, tune your whole guitar. But it also acts as a mute. So when I push this again, my guitar will come back. Pretty neat. So a lot of tuner pedals do that. They act as a mute so you can tune on stage without disturbing anybody. The second pedal is probably the coolest pedal I've used in a long time. It's the Robert Keeley Tone Workstation, and it's really a bunch of pedals. It's not just three. There's I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 6 pedals in one. However, you can only use 3 at a time, and I call it 6 in 1 because you can see it's set up in 3 sections. You got the first section, which is your compressor. The second section, which is Katana Clean Boost, or in the up position, it's a drive, or like an overdrive pedal. The third one is an overdrive pedal, and you've got 2 versions. You've got the mod, and then you've got the up, which is called baked. I like it in the mod position. So essentially you've got 2 ways to use this one, 2 ways you can use this section, and 2 ways you can use this section. So it's really 6, you know, but you can only use a combination of any 3. So you can use this one or this one, this one or this one, this one or this one. It's a very cool pedal. I'm going to explain it a little bit in a bit. The next one up is a TC Electronic Dark Matter. I was looking for a boost kinda with a distortion in a previous setup that I was using, and I bought the Dark Matter just to punch a little gain into my front end and make my distorted channel really scream, and it did that really well. Now the way I have it set up is I'm using it as my distortion, my main distortion, and then I'm using the Keeley to boost it, so it works pretty well. The next pedal that I have here is a brand new reverb from Fender called the Marine Layer Reverb. This is the best reverb I've ever played with. I'm not going to go through it in this video. I may in another one, but if you look up this pedal, you'll find videos that explain it probably better than I can. But this pedal is fantastic. One of the best sounding reverbs I've ever used. I'm not going to play with my settings really. I'm just going to show you how well the amp takes the pedals. Finally, I have the TC Electronic Sentry, which is a noise gate. And I'll show you how that sounds as well. So, amp settings. I'm going into the amp and I'm using my clean channel. Over here my volume I'm set to about 2 because I'm inside. I don't need very loud. My treble is set to 7.5. My bass is set to about 7 3/4. My effects level is turned off because I only use it really for reverb, and I'm using that here. So that's what my amp is set to. Now the way I have these pedals coming in is pretty awesome because of the Sentry pedal. That pedal really has some very unique ways that you can run your pedals. So I'll briefly try to explain how my signal path is going. My guitar, which today I'm using my Ibanez R442. It's got a DiMarzio in the bridge, and then it's got stock pickups in the neck. Single coils. This is a fantastic guitar. I absolutely love it. I play it a lot, especially when I want to get some really good chimey clean tones through single coils. I have it set as a hardtail, so that bridge is basically blocked and against the body. It doesn't move. Excellent guitar. That's where the tones will be coming from. So, my signal chain. Guitar into the tuner. From the tuner into the Keeley. From the Keeley out to the Dark Matter. From the Dark Matter, I go over to the Sentry, to the input, From the Sentry, I use its kind of effects loop. So from the input, then I go to the send. The send goes out to the amp. The amp then goes to the send, right? So from the send, it comes back over here to the Sentry, to the return. Okay, from the return, it goes to the output. From the output, it goes over to the input of the reverb. The reverb then goes out to the return of the effects loop of the amp. Kind of a wily way to do it, but what that will essentially do is that noise gate will gate everything. It'll gate your preamp and your amp, and it'll also gate your guitar, and it'll also gate all of your pedals that feed it. The only thing that it's not really gating is the reverb, but you don't need to gate reverb. So that's the setup that I'm using, and it sounds pretty cool. One thing I will say about the Sentry pedal is that it does mess with your amp's tone. So maybe you can hear this through the camera, I don't know, but there's my clean tone with no pedals engaged. Now if I engage the Sentry, you'll hear my tone has changed. Without it. With it. So, with that in mind, what I did was I turned on the Sentry, and then I got my amp to sound nice and chimey and bright, right? So I set my amp after I turned my Sentry pedal on. That way, you know, I bring it back to what my original idea was for my clean signal. But just keep that in mind if you should buy one of these Sentry pedals, that it does affect your tone. They'll say it all day long out on the, you know, internet about the pedal. Oh, it doesn't affect your tone. It does. And you just got to deal with that. You turn your pedal on and then set your settings once it's on. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I don't care. It works for me. Okay, so first thing I always have on is my reverb. So I always use my reverb. I never usually turn that off. So right now I'm using a Hall on setting 1 with the filter turned on, and you can see on the pedal where my settings are. So that's my reverb I'm getting. I'm going to switch to my neck pickup. Beautiful, beautiful reverb. Cool thing on this pedal is there's LEDs in the knobs that you can turn on or off. So if you're on a dark stage and you need to see where your pedal settings are, you leave that on and you can see it. I don't have a use for it because I set it and forget it, so I leave it off. It saves battery power. Which I should say, I'm not using a battery in any of these pedals. I'm actually using a one spot, right? So the one spot with the daisy chain, it's actually one plug and it's powering all 5 of these pedals. Okay, so there's my reverb. Next thing that I usually leave on all the time is the compressor. So here's what it sounds like without it. And then with it. So you can hear it jumped up in volume a little bit because I have the level set high. Or past noon, I should say. The level is right here. Okay, so there's a level. There's a blend on here, which is pretty cool about the Keeley pedal. You can use it stock, or you can use it in the up position, which is the treble position. That's where I preferred it. My sustain is halfway up. This is a 50-50 blend, so when it's all the way left, it's fully the compressor. But as you turn it back to the right, all the way right, is going to be half compressor and half guitar signal. So I have it right now right around the 3 o'clock area, close to it, and I like the tone there. fantastic. Keeley is known for his compression. It's awesome. The second part of this pedal is either a clean katana boost, which is what I have it set to right now. I'm using the katana boost. I don't know if you'll be able to tell the boost through the camera, but we'll see. So it gives you a remarkably clean boost. So signal before it. Signal after it. It's an awesome boost. Gets you right up there. So if you're playing clean, you need to do a lead clean as well. You boost that in and you've got a nice boosted clean tone. It sounds great. It doesn't affect the tone of your amp at all. It can. You can switch it so that it gets louder. And I should also mention that when you're in this mode, this is the only knob that works when you're in the katana boost. These are for when you're in the drive mode. So if I switch to the drive mode, now I'm using a drive pedal, right? So I've got the tone and the drive, the amount of gain really. So without, with, you can hear it. So it gives you a really great sounding boost, or drive, I should say. I like it here because I like to boost my clean. So next portion is the actual drive pedal. I can't remember what it's called. It's called a red something from Keeley. So it's really 3 pedals of his in one box. So here's with that on. So it gets you into that really cool Texas blues territory, which is kind of what I need for the way that I play in my band. I need a really beautiful clean, I need a really good bluesy tone, and I also need a really good distorted lead sound, which I'm going to get into next. But with this setup, I have a little more options, right? So I can go into other territories if I need be. So turn that off. We'll get the Dark Matter pedal, show you how that sounds. So by itself, again, I have kind of a good Texasy, right? It's almost the same. But now if I want to get that into a nice heavier sound, I just turn this drive on with it, and now I get this. And I want more, I turn on this boost. the perfect amount of gain for what I do. I could get this to go heavier because, as you can see, my gain is way over here, right? So if I wanted to get more gain out of this, I certainly can. Let's give it a try, I guess, right? And then the insanity mode. Of course, in order for me to use it that way, I'd have to change the settings that I have on my Sentry, because it's not really gating right now, which, if I set it up, all I gotta do really is find where the... Actually, you know what? It shouldn't actually get rid of that hiss. Yeah. That's what it's gating. What I'm using on the Sentry right now is called their 3-band gate, which it doesn't work like a typical gate. So if I wanted to get rid of that hiss, I know I can, right? I just change up to gate and find where it is. Maybe I can't. Oh, it helps if I turn it on. There. So now I have that slammed shut. And there goes my volume, so let's see. Yeah, so when it's in high gain mode like that, I'd have to turn it up to the gate function instead of using the tone print. The tone print is where the 3-band gate is, which is how I had it set before, and it works great. Dead quiet if you use the gate like this. Even with super gain mode, you crank that up, you can hear it starting to come in. So what you do is you take your noise floor and just get rid of it. But now my volume is dipped because it's gating super hard, because without that gate on, that's super fuzz gain, like crazy hissy, which I'm not a huge fan of. So we'll put this guy back to where I had it. And that right there is probably my favorite setting. So put this back where I had it. Put it back in the mode I want. So, if you were wondering if the Fender Champion 100 takes pedals well, it does. The other thing that I haven't tried yet is to use my selector switch for the amp, and I can then engage even more gain if I wanted to by turning on that channel. Right, I go to that channel and put it on a heavier setting, and then voila, I have that heavy setting too. So let's see, let's try it. We'll go over here. I haven't tried this yet, so hopefully it's fine. So let's put it on a metal-ish sound. And the gate's gating it. Let me give me that a little more volume here. And that's with the compressor on. So let's see what happens if I drive boost this channel. So it works good that way too. I wouldn't even really need the dark metal or the dark matter pedal. Whew, I can speak well. The dark matter pedal. You don't even need to have it in the lineup, but I actually kind of dig it more than the gain that I get from the amp. The gain from the amp is a little like, and of course I'm on this setting. I can probably get it to sound better than that if I think about it. But I like using that dark matter pedal. It's a really good gain that I like the sound of, so I'm using it. So there you go. This amp takes pedals really well. There's my new cool pedal board that I put together, which I like a lot. That marine layer reverb is legit. If you need a reverb pedal, get that one. It's awesome. The reason I went kind of pedal crazy lately is I'm going to be doing a video about this soon too, but More Music, the website moremusic.com, had a contest going on their YouTube page where if you were a subscriber of theirs, you had a chance to win Paul Reed Smith Mark Tremonti signature amp, the MT15. And wouldn't you know it, I won. I couldn't believe it. I've never won anything like that ever in my entire life. It's the first time I've ever won anything. But it's legit. I got an email from them and I was skeptical, thinking that maybe I got some kind of, you know, scam going. So I went to their website, looked up their phone number, gave them a call, and they confirmed that I did win their contest. So I'm extremely excited. When I get that head, I'm going to do an extensive demo video on it and share it with you guys. But that was the whole reason that I bought the reverb, because that amp has no reverb on it. And I can't not have reverb. I love reverb. It covers up all my mistakes and makes me sound like a good guitar player. But yeah, I needed a reverb, so I went and I bought that reverb. I had the dark matter pedal. I had the Sentry pedal. Once I got the reverb, I said, hey, you know what? Let's get a boost in front of that amp, and I bought the Keeley thing because I watched a lot of reviews on it, and it's a fantastic pedal. And I bought a pedal tuner, which cost me next to nothing. I paid $16 for that on stage. What is it? The GTP7000. That thing works awesome, and it's super low money. So don't waste your money spending $100 on a tuner pedal. All it's doing is tuning your guitar. As long as it works, get a cheap pedal. It doesn't have to be amazing. It's got true bypass, so your signal's going directly through that pedal and into your next chain. So yeah, I'm rambling at this point. But look forward to that video for the Paul Reed Smith signature Mark Tremonti amp that I have won. I should be getting it in April when they start shipping them. And stay tuned for that, because that's going to be cool. I can't wait to show you guys. I can't wait to get it and try it. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and that was the Fender Champion 100 with a pedal board in front, and I think it takes pedals rather well. So be safe, be good. We'll talk to you later, YouTube. Bye-bye.